Today I'd like to share with you one of my computer systems that I find fascinating. This is a Unisys CWD 4002, and it is my smallest 486 desktop computer. Yeah, I've got 486 laptops and tablet kind of thingies that are smaller than this, but as far as desktops go, this is pretty unusual for when it was released in 1995, I would say. And yeah, it is the same Unisys that also made mainframes and professional workstations and all sorts of more expensive kind of stuff like that. They're a fascinating company and are worth a video of their own, but anyway, as far as the CWD 4002 goes, it was also sold as the Leo 486 as sort of an OEM thing, and there were other model variations in the CWD line as well, but as for this one, Unisys said it was made for businesses with space concerns. I don't mean in the Elon Musk sense, I mean like in the physical area that you put things sense. For example, Western Pacific Airlines and their reservation systems, that was the example that they gave of a company that would use these. Its dimensions are around 9 by 11.5 by 2 inches. And it weighs just under 8 pounds, which is actually pretty substantial for the size of this, and it's packed with all sorts of goodies. It's got a 486 DX2, 66 MHz, 16 megs of RAM, 335 megs of hard drive space, SVGA graphics, and a 1.44 meg 3.5-inch drive. They sold it for anywhere from $670 to $1,500 US in 1995. Mine's sort of a mid-range model, I suppose. I found it on eBay a while back. There were hundreds, maybe thousands of these that just sort of flooded the surplus markets years ago, and they're still out there for not that much, really. And it kind of makes sense. There's nothing terribly special going on spec-wise, but it's just the size. This almost makes a PS4 controller look huge. I've got classic PC game boxes that are of similar dimensions or even bigger in some cases. Packard Bell Legend 486, which is the computer I had in 1995, is an absolute monster by comparison, but it's really quite impressive. I mean, it's got all the same basic functionality here in the 4002, plus Ethernet built right into the back of it. Sure, you don't have like a game port and extra expansion slots, but you know, it's a trade-off. And as you might guess, for weighing 8 pounds, it's actually built pretty sturdily and is meant to hold a CRT on top. But yeah, I don't know, I feel weird doing that, so I stick with an LCD. And inside it's pretty neat to explore as well. The whole box just sort of slides apart, and in here it's cramped but pretty impressive. It's got a proprietary power supply on the right here, 3.5-inch IDE hard drive with a teeny tiny IDE cable, 2 SIM slots for RAM, a spot for a 3.5-inch floppy drive, which is the same type you would find on laptops of the time, and one 16-bit ISA slot for whatever you can fit in here, which kind of limits your options. But as for me, you might imagine my top priority for an upgrade was a sound card, since all you have is the internal PC speaker otherwise. Nothing against the speaker, it's fun, but you know, I want a Sound Blaster, but it's got to be a shorter one. I ended up going with one of my Sound Blaster 2.0s. This is a CT1350B. And the installation process is a little different, as you might expect for this being so small. You actually remove and disassemble this entire rear bracket. You slide your card right in there, then screw it back together, oddly enough making your card a bit clunkier than it is, but it works. It's a snug fit, and it all just kind of goes in there, and now it looks like it's part of the machine. I quite like this. Ah, much better. And that's pretty much it for the Unisys CWD 4002. I just think it's super fun. It's a compact design. I think it looks really neat, although I've heard some people say, oh, it's pretty ugly, but I just find it attractive in a weirdly utilitarian way, and it's more than capable for all sorts of DOS gaming stuff. It's kind of like having the footprint of a 486 laptop, but with a bit of the expandability and stuff like that you would expect from a desktop, which is a nice little middle ground if you're someone like me with a Goldilocks complex. It's a desktop that's happy to be just the way it is. It's not perfect, it's got some quirks, and it's actually pretty limited. But for me, that's exactly what makes computers like this so much fun to play with. And hey, if you like this video, then let me know, because I'm trying something a little bit different here, a little more laid back and kind of chill for my hardware reviews of sort. I don't know. Is this a review? It's just me sort of rambling about a computer. So if you'd like to see other rambles, let me know, or stick around and check out some of my other stuff here on LGR. And as always, thank you very much for watching.